Staff Sergeant Wilford Banks, 173rd Airborne Division, Vietnam, 1968, 6th man.
And this is Staff Sergeant Greg Harris, United States Marine Corps, September 8, 1998 to August 1st, 2010.
All right. This morning, this afternoon, we want to talk to you about this RAMP program that the Department of Veteran Affairs supposed to institute it on the signature of the President of the United States, August the 27th, 2000, for August the 23rd, 2017, to become effective February 2019 at the earliest. The program is called the Rapid Appeals Modernization Program. That's the official name given by this program, given to this program. However, this is just my own personal program name would be the Real Manipulation Program, because that's what it is. And I don't say that lightly, nor historically, nor to be facetious, but we have studied this program exhaustively. We've not only that, we've contacted at least a couple of attorneys, trying to make sure that we do the best available job and services that we can do to help our veterans and keep them out of the wing ding. Now, you know what the wing ding is you getting trapped up, getting tricked up regarding your claims and your benefits. I mean, as the old adage among veterans is, you know, one thing about the Department of Veteran Affairs is that it always seems that they have a policy which is unwritten, to deny until you die. And this is just one of those other avenues that's going to prolong your time. It says rapid movement. I don't see nothing about this program that's going to move your condition or situation any greater. As pointed out by attorneys, what it is really is a setback, because let's just look at the program itself. Now, it says it was designed to look closely to ways to put veterans in control of how they receive services and then interact with VA modernization efforts are occurring across the department, to include changes to our review process for benefit claim decision. Now, I mean, I don't recall anyone sitting down with any group of veterans trying to determine what is the quickest way to get benefits to you. Now, we've been doing this since working with veterans and their spouses and their benefits since 2010. And since that time, all we've seen is delay after delay, dragging feet. Sometimes, I mean, we process the claim and it's taken some up to 5 years in some cases to get a claim adjudicated. Don't make sense. Now, all of a sudden here, we're going to, on August the 2nd, 2018, we get a brand new program that's going to modernize how we get our benefits, or how veterans are going to get their benefits. Well, let's look at the program itself. It says that under the Rapid Appeal Modernization Program, we are contacting you to inform you of a new program known as the Rapid Appeals Modernization, RAMP, that allows you to opt in to the new claim and appeal process before the law goes into full effect. Well, first of all, let's say the law doesn't go into full effect until February 2019. That's a trick. Okay. They're saying you can opt in right now, but it doesn't become effective till 2019, February.
That's right.
The problem with that is, you know, most of the time when people look at this, first thing, oh, let me get in this before get ahead of the game and get my name in the hat. Well, you ought to be cautious before you go jumping into getting your name in the hat trying to get an early entry into this rapid program or this RAMP program, and read the underlying information that's within the program itself. For there are a lot of pitfalls. First of all, the first pitfall here, it's going to tell you over into the body of the letter that once you sign up for the RAMP program, okay, where you are in the system right now with the Department of Veterans Affairs, once you sign up for the RAMP program, you're going to negate, delete, and make void any claims that you have already processed to higher levels into the system. And once you sign up for this program, once you put your name on a dotted line, you cannot change this from this program. In other words, once you get into it and you find out it ain't all as clanked up to like it's to be, you cannot opt out. You can opt in, but you sure can't opt out.
And also to add to that, once you opt in, at a certain point, you won't even be able to add any new additional evidence in regards to your claim. So that's another scary part right there, because with the traditional way of filing an appeal, the NOD, even after that point, you can add additional information to the Department of Veterans Affairs in regards.
Oh, we can go further than that. Once you get the SSC, statement of the case, you can also, even at the statement of the case, if there's some new evidence that you get after it has reached the Board of Veteran Appeals, you can also submit that evidence before the Department of Veteran Affairs, and they must take that evidence into consideration before they adjudicate your claim. The same way it happened when, in the event you get a remand. So none of this is talked about in this RAMP program. If it gets to the Board of Veteran Appeals and the Board of Veteran Appeals says, well, wait a minute, hold it. The Department of Veteran Affairs failed to follow the procedural protocol devised under the program, that is the claims program, then they will remand that case back down to the ROD level. And when they do that, you as an individual veteran, you have an opportunity then to add further evidence to show where either VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs failed to adjudicate your claim properly, or if they put in information that was a clear and unmistakable error. See, this RAMP don't cover that, because now once you opt into the RAMP program, you're in a system now where you don't get an opportunity to submit any additional evidence. Now, again, as I said, the attorneys have already told us that this is the program they don't recommend anyone get in. And when you read it, then you'll find out yourself. And it's easy. Now, and I'm sure that all the veterans that we service, each one has come to us saying, look, I got this letter from the Department of Veterans Affairs called RAMP program. What should I do? We say, don't participate. I mean, and why we say don't participate, we got veterans that claim that's 5 years in the running. That is, it's been processed since 2010 and yet have not been adjudicated to the fullest extent of the law. Why? Because delayed, and whatever Department of Veterans Affairs is doing, if anything at all, they have delayed these cases that long. Still, that same idea, deny, until they die. Now, what we're saying to you is, once what the RAMP program is saying, you can have a claim in process 5 years, could be at the Board of Veteran Appeals in Washington, D.C., pending a decision. Once you sign your name on the RAMP program, automatically your claim is no longer any good. We're going to prove it to you because the letter's going to prove it to you, okay? But, and Matt was going to do that right now, shouldn't we?
Yes, sir.
Because, see, you go to the last page of the RAMP program. Let me make sure we got it here.
We got both, yes, sir.
Okay.
There's both there.
Let me get to you. I'm old, man. I have to flow.
It's the last 2 pages.
Yeah, let me see that. Man, I ain't got mine. But anyway, here's what it says. Ramp up in election. And now, first of all, it warns you clearly. So it won't be no repercussions or excuses for you not to have known what was going on. It says right here in the letter itself, do not complete this form if you wish to remain in the current legacy appeal process. Well, right now, even though the legacy appeal process is slow, mundane, outdated, it is the best program right now available because RAMP is going to try to kill you. Okay? Now, listen to what it says. Here's what it reads. Once you have read and understood the attached VA letter, please indicate your election by completing and returning this notice with the with the cover sheet provided to the address noted below. Okay? That's the Janesville for all claims are processed now. Listen, now this is the most critical part, and I wonder why they put it at the back end of the whole program. The reason why is because they know people read that. Man, I ain't reading all that stuff. But here's what it says. By completing this form, I elect to participate in the RAMP program, RAMP. I am withdrawing all eligible pending compensation appeals in their entirety and any associated hearing requests to participate in the VA RAMP program initiative and have my eligible appeal process under the new process described in the Appeal Modernization Act. I understand that I cannot return to the current legacy appeal system for the issuance withdrawn. Now, all right, in the layman's terms, it's simply stated. Once you sign up into this program, wherever you are,
ain't no turning back.
Ain't no turning back. You can't go back. Oh, I made a mistake. We've already got guys. We've already experienced people who already got tricked by not only just VA. Let me be honest with you. We got some VSO officers out there in the field who's supposed to be helping, who's supposed to be up on these things, helping veterans, that mess veterans up. Because now that veteran, the veteran, and we can't divulge their name, but the veteran that came to us said, what can I do now once I have signed the RAMP program? Well, you messed up. At least the VSO personnel that's supposed to have represented you or helped you
messed you up.
So now you stuck. You can't add no more evidence.
The evidence you had is
the
gone.
Evidence that you had up there, and the stage of your process appealed is now outdated. It's no longer any good. In other words, all the information that was pending, the RAMP, the remands, the position before the board, all the litigation that had already been previously argued before the Department of Veterans Affairs, it's over.
That's right.
You're going back to square one.
You're basically filing a new claim. You're starting over.
That's exactly what you're doing. And the only information that they're going to even look at, y'all better get this. The only information they're going to look at is the information that was in process at the time that you signed the RAMP program.
That's right.
You can't add no more. So even if you got your records from Guatemala or from the Department of Veterans or military,
or the doctor writes you a letter.
You
do.
You can't use it. Information is no good. So look, we're trying to tell you today, RAMP is going to mess you up if you get in RAMP. And I still, they may get mad, and I say the powers that be, but this program is not a program
designed for
to your
you.
best interest. Well, I'm not saying it. Let's read what it says. Let me read on. Okay. It says, let me say again. I understand that I cannot return to the current legacy appeal system for the issues withdrawn. I also acknowledge that in the event I want the board to review my claim, the board will not consider my appeal under the new process until no earlier than October 2018. Okay? So it says, even if I got my information already in, even if the board was already in preparation to look at my evidence, look at my appeal.
Now we're under the new process according to this, because we're in October now. So that means in 1 October that everything you had before that, even if you opt in, it still didn't take effect. But here's the thing, since like I'm saying, we're in October now, so now you automatically go into the new process if you opted in.
Right.
So it done begun for you. The clock done begun for you.
See, you got to catch 22 here. On the first page of this thing, it says the program does not take effect until February 2019 at the earliest. However, then in the withdrawal stage, it tells you, okay, October 2018 now is effective. Is the effective date
for the new appeal.
for the board for the new appeal. So it's double talking itself. Crazy stuff. Now, let me go ahead and read another statement here. It says, RAMP is a temporary program that allows early participation in the supplemental claim and high-level review lanes in the new modernization review process. Participation in RAMP is voluntary. They cannot force you to get in this program. It is not mandatory. They cannot use any tactics, or they cannot do anything that would deny you your rights under the current legacy program. That is the current program which entitles you to benefits under 38 CFR of Code of Federal Regulations. All right. I mean, I'm sitting here reading this thing. This whole program I've read, I haven't seen the 38 CFR Code of Federal Regulations stated anywhere in this program. So what they're saying is, we said the heck with the 38 CFR. If you sign up for it, you're no longer under the 38 CFR, which is the Code of Federal Regulations on how VA must process your claim, and then also how they must recognize your rights under that 38 CFR as far as all the laws governing what they must do in order to satisfy your claims, and their obligation to help you in all ways possible, so that whenever you file a claim as a veteran, it is VA's responsibility to do whatever it can to help you win your case. That's what the law says. This here right here, this here is not going to help you. This is going to hinder you, because it automatically, as we just told you, stops you from putting in evidence and information that has not been already introduced prior to you opting into this program.
That's right.
I mean, we say it all the time. I mean, here we got people who it takes sometimes 3-4 years to get military records that you don't have, that veterans don't have, because if you write to St. Louis and say, oh, I need my military records, medical records, and my C file. We've experienced on many occasions when you write St. Louis, I need my record, especially if you above, if your last name is above H, I believe it's H. Around H, somewhere in there. Because what they're saying, the fire that occurred some years back in
1973.
1970,
Yes, sir.
up there in St. Louis, records got burned up. So now, what does VA have to do? You got to now try to trace this back to your company or your battalion or your group that you was with while you were in the military to see if they can resurrect your military records. Okay. And if they can't do it, then VA says, well, we don't have the records, therefore we can't process your claim because we have no evidence. Well, look, that's another scapegoat by the Department of Veteran Affairs because look, we are not the custodians of the records. And I say we, I'm talking about the veteran is not the custodian of the record. The Department of Veteran Affairs is the custodian of the record. That's why they got the St. Louis office for personnel records. Now, they were the ones responsible for the upkeep and of the records and the maintaining of those records. Who started the fire? We don't know. But all we know is there was some records burned up. Now, because the records got burned up, they want to fault the veterans because the records. That's crazy, folks. Come on now. Wake up, veterans. This is crazy. So, but here, even with this RAMP program, so if I file a claim and I don't have all the records available and I got to wait on St. Louis now and the Department of Veteran Affairs and the military agencies that were responsible for keeping my record, if I got to wait 3 to 5 years before I can get all of my record, then that means I don't have all the evidence. If I sign this form here, once I get the record, all the evidence don't mean nothing no more, because that's what the RAMP program says. Once you opt into the program, whatever evidence is there, that's all you can use. Huh. That's what the word is. That's now. If somebody said, if there's somebody in the Department of Veteran Affairs who disagrees with what I said, then we'll challenge you. Call us up. We'll come and talk to you. Prove to us that the RAMP program is a program that's designed to give you all the available rights stated under 38 CFR program. That's what we want. But now, we're telling you right now, let me read on. Participation in RAMP program requires, this is page 1, requires withdrawing your pending compensation benefit appeals and substituting the review procedure set forth in the Appeal Modernization Act. Is that clear? Is that clear enough? Let's read it again. Participation in RAMP, that is what is that? What is it, Greg?
The RAMP program.
I'm trying to get that word out. I almost y'all to get that word. What is that? Rapid Appeal Modernization Program. Participation in the Rapid Appeal Modernization Program requires withdrawing your pending compensation benefit appeals. I mean all of them. Don't say appeal. Let me all. If you got one, it's going to get rid of that one. If you got 20, all appeals will be withdrawn. And that will be that. Then you will now have a substitution of the review procedure that is set forth under the RAMP program. Okay, for the issues addressed under all your eligible appeal under review lane you select. Okay, we're gonna get to the review lane in a minute. Okay. Matter of fact, go ahead, Greg. Let's take over the review lane, and I'm gonna come back to that.
All right. You got to remember that in this program there are 2 lanes that you can go to, and I'm just gonna give you the basic synoptics of both lanes. The first lane is called the supplemental claim lane, and then the second lane is the higher level review lane. The supplemental claim lane says that under this lane, you cannot add any new relevant information to support your claim. The VA will not help you with that at all. Where now the VA has been
They're required by law.
They're required by law to duty to assist. Is what I was trying to say. So they have a duty to assist you Under the supplemental claim lane, the duty to assist goes out the window. They won't help you with that at all. No more claim information, no more nothing. It's set in stone. That's it. Now, and if you choose the higher level review lane, all that simply says that if they made an error, they will correct that error, and it's on this time frame only. There will not be any errors corrected during the supplemental claim lane. So you have two lanes to choose. Now, how do I know which lane is best for me in my situation? Well, it all depends on how fast you want to get your money, because each one says it takes on an average of 125 days for each lane. But the supplemental lane is claiming to be less than 125 days. So I'm going to speak out of pocket here for a minute. So if you so-called hurting for money and your claim has been out there for a while and you opt in this, if you really want your money fast enough and they grant your claim, go to supplemental lane. But we know we're not doing this program, so this is just hypothetical. And then if you go to high level review lane, that's when they'll make any corrections, but they have to make an error, not you, them, according to their own words. And back in your hands, Mr. Banks.
Okay. So look, and don't get it wrong, we are not lawyers here. So let us make that clear. One thing we do, we just looking at the language itself. And as I said, anytime that you got a program that's supposed to be in favor of helping the veteran, then this program should have somewhere in these 6 pages at least made some kind of recognition to 35 CFR, 38 CFR, and the 35 U.S. Code of Federal Regulations. There is no such mention of it in it, the U.S. Code of Federal Regulations or the compensation regulations, the CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, and the U.S. or the USC Code of Regulations. So that's a I would say that's a red flag right there, because it does not mention anything about those rights that a veteran have under those 2 federal regulation codes. Now, because the reason why it doesn't do that is because here, this program, in our humble opinion, is designed to not do or not help you, but really it's going to hinder you and it's going to hurt you. So let me read on here because I want to make sure we understand. It says, look, and this is the reading. You will not be able to request additional review of a VA decision under the current, let me read it clearly. You will not, and this is random, be able to request additional review of VA decision under the current legacy appeal process. However, you will have access to all the review options and benefits of the new process. Okay, now, so currently, when VA sends you a decision, you already know if you got a claim in process. When VA sends that letter, that's not the end of it. It ain't like, okay, this is it. This is in stone. You can't do nothing there. No. When they send that decision to you, you have a right to file a notice of disagreement. You also have a right to dispute any information in the decision that's contrary to what the facts are, and present evidence to show where VA either failed or refused to follow the protocol as from an evidentiary standpoint. Here, what they're saying now, you won't have that option no more under the RAMP program, okay? Because here's what it said. You will, however, have access to all the review options and benefits on the new process. What options? You ain't got no options, folks. How you go? They take your rights away on the 38 CFR and the USC Code of Federal Regulations, and then turn around and say, now you got a better option under the RAMP program, but 38 CFR and USC Code of Federal Regulations are excluded from the program. Come on, y'all, wake up. Listen.
And participating in this program is just as bad as not returning the VA Form 9. You have 60 days to return that Form 9. You have 60 days to opt into this program according to their own words. And if you don't opt in within the 60 days, you're not in. That's a good thing. But the VA Form 9, you have 60 days as well. If you don't turn that in, you start over as well. So that's.
But let's say, brother, it ain't a good thing. What it is a trick. The reason why they say you got 60 days to get in this program, because they want as many folks to jump into this program, sign up before people like Mr. Harris and myself and other who are the watchdog, VA watchdog, and all of those people who have sat down and studied the program and found out that this ain't nothing but a trick. That's why the 60 days in there. You better hurry up and get in now while you got the window, the opportunity, the door open to get in. Because if you don't, you're going to miss out. But you better miss out, because if you get in this in, you're going to miss out all the way in. All right. So now here we say it says that see the attached fact sheet regarding your option. Information on how to participate in REP and the benefits of participating. Well, they basically told y'all that on the first part. Now, if you choose, this is the next statement, if you choose not to participate in the REP program, you do not need to respond to this letter, and your appeal will remain in the current legacy appeal process. Fine. That's what we want. You've been there for 3 years. You've been there for almost 5 years.
You might as well ride it out.
You better ride.
Let it ride.
Because see, guess what's going to happen? You've been waiting for 5 years to get your benefits. All of a sudden, you get in the REP. It ain't gonna get no faster. That's just my opinion. So I have a right to my opinion. 120. You think they're gonna resolve your case in 125 days? And they've been waiting for 100. They've been waiting for almost 5 years to adjudicate your claim. What's up? I mean, what's so brand new? Did they come up on did something just happen? Did all of a sudden everybody in DC or the Department of Veterans Affairs got an appeal of truth, and now they ready to help you? Go ahead.
And as we read more into this process, is like Mr. Banks said, we need to wake up on this, because it's the same set of eyes. This program is designed for the 125-day period. It's for it to go through a different set of eyes. You really think the VA has a different set of eyes for each claim? No, it's remanding over and over and over. Now they under pressure for those 25 days to give you some type of decision. And most of the time, it's not a favorable decision. This decision will be final. Don't put yourself in
right. Well, and even if they decided, let's just get real, people. Even if once you get into the REP program, and it goes back down to the lower level, back to where at the beginning, because what's going to happen? Them same ROs, them same RODs, regional office directors who work for VA, when it goes back down in the REP program, those same people are going to look at the same evidence that you already presented, and they're going to come up with the same decisions. And the only difference now is you will not have any appeal rights. That's what it says here.
It's a final decision. A done deal.
Now, listen to what it said. If you have any questions or need assistance, please contact your representative. Attorney, well, they tell you to do it. Ain't nobody call. We call our attorneys immediately when we got this thing. And their absolute position: do not get in this program. One, because it ain't even been legitimized yet. You don't even know how the program is going to work. We know by the language itself that it is with this. It is designed to take away your rights under the law. That is 35 USC and the 38 CFR Code of Federal Regulations set forth by the the federal government. Okay. Now all of a sudden, let me go back to the first page. On August the 27th, 2017, the president signed into law. So what? You know, this farce about veterans, you better wake up. Ain't no, there ain't no great white hope to come out on behalf of the veterans. So the only hope we have is the continuation of the law and doing what we can to do what the current law says, because it's too long, it takes too long for the adjudication of claims, in our opinion. Excuse me. So the fact is, with the law, you got a better opportunity to say, look, okay, my case gets to the BVA in Washington, D.C. BVA makes a decision that's contrary or conflicting to what I believe the law has stated and what my rights were. Even with BVA, I have a right under the law to challenge the decision of the Board of Veteran Appeals. All right. In this case, they just wipe you out. So how silly can one be if my case is already at the Board of Veteran Appeals in Washington, D.C., pending the decision? I sign up for RAMP, that automatically takes my case out of the BVA in Washington, D.C. So so what does this program do? Is it a relief for the veterans? Excuse me, but hell no. This is a relief for the system, for the Department of Veteran Affairs, from the low level ROD all the way up to the Board of Veteran Appeals. This ain't designed to help you veterans. This is designed to wipe out and weed out all veterans' claims. This is another addition to the death roll. What I mean by that, when they hold your claim over and over and over without giving you adjudication, and the veteran dies without adjudication, at that point, they're quick to write a letter. Because we already experienced it. They're quick to write a letter once a veteran dies. Because the veteran's death, you have an opportunity. The veteran's claim is no longer existent. And so they sent a letter to the grieving wife that said, ma'am, we are sorry, but your husband deceased. And the claims that he had in process are no longer active. And however, you have 1 year from the date of this letter to file a substitute claim. On an average, when those grieving spouses get those letters, they don't know what the heck that law is saying. And so they sat there grieving for 2 years and hadn't filed a substitute claim. And when they finally wake up, oh, I should have filed a claim. It's too late. So they had already penalized the wife or the spouse or the husband, the spouse, the living spouse. They penalize you with the 1 year rule. If you don't file a substitute claim within 1 year, all the claims that the veteran had in and had fought for 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, becomes moot because he died. That's a bull if I ever heard. That's bull if it ever was. That's why you got to have organizations who can say, look, if you don't know your rights, you need to find out who can help you to make sure that your rights are upheld. All right. Okay, so let me move on over to the next page here. So here's what they claim under the RAPID program. They say Rapid Appeal Modernization Program fact sheet. Fact 1: Rapid Appeal Modernization Program gives veterans the opportunity for early participation in the new supplemental claim and higher level review lane. That's crap. You know, rapid programming, if there was a real intent by the federal government or the president who signed this into law, It simply would have said either we got to hire more people to help adjudicate these claims fairly with all the evidence, and to ensure that each veteran who is entitled to benefit would receive those benefits based on the facts and evidence. Not turn around and say, okay, we're going to put in a rapid process program, and if you fail to meet the program, we don't care how much evidence you got. We don't care what the evidence look like. We're going to drop your claim.
That's right.
That's all it's saying, folks. So, this is a fact sheet, all right. Fact one is you finna get screwed if you sign up into this program. Fact two, hear what he said. As RAMP participant, you will benefit from what? Early participation in the new, more efficient review process. Why should a new, more efficient review process take away my rights? Yeah, if you're gonna take away, yeah, it's a new review process because you taking away all of my rights under 30 CFR and the 35 USC. Yeah, you taking away rights. And since it's gonna hurry up, get me out of the system, because I'm gonna help process my own self out of the system by signing up for this program. Fact bullet 2, potentially faster decision and early resolution of disagreement. That's crap. I mean, look, we know this crap because we've set forth evidence on top of evidence in arguing claim, and we can tell you, and I can tell you that we know the system currently that's running right now is nothing but a system of prolonged, delayed, denial, and piecemealing claims. I mean, just the other day came across my desk. We've been fighting those young man claims since 2010. In 2010, when we filed a claim, they gave him a decision. In 2012, he got 10% for PTSD. We said we disagree with that. We filed a notice of disagreement. Another 2 years later, they said, "Oh, okay, wait a minute. We're gonna give him 30% because now we realized that he had some distant problems." Okay, so they raised up to 30% in 2015. I said, "No, we don't agree with that." Went back, filed the claim. Lo and behold, in 2017, he got an additional 30%, which raised his rating up to 50%. The evidence is the same evidence that was presented in 2010. But they piecemeal. You understand what piecemeal means? Okay, we give you 10% in 2012, and from 2012 to 2014, you're gonna get an increase of 30%. You got a 20% increase, but you just lost from 2010 to 2015. You lost at least 30% of, 20% of income that you should have gotten based upon the increase that was based upon what your disability was in 2010, because it did not change. It was the same information that VA had in 2010 that they had in 2015, that they gave the increase from 2000 and from 30% to 50%. And we're saying, look, you're still wrong, because when we sat down and looked at the DBQ, that is when the person went to the CNP examination before the doctor stated in all areas of the PTSD disability questionnaire, in all areas, the veteran came under the agreement of the what am I talking about? Hold on, come on. Came under the DSM-5 criteria for PTSD. The doctor stated that the veteran met all of the DBQ DSM-5 qualification for PTSD. Now, so that same information that the DBQ, that the doctor wrote on the DBQ in 2010 is the same information that's on the table right now. The same information that was there in 2010 that he got the first 10% for is the same DBQ that he got the 30% for, and is the same DBQ that they raised it to 50%. So it ain't nothing but piecemealing, people. And what it is, they think somebody up there think people are stupid down here because we can't see where the Department of Veterans Affairs said we'll piecemeal them out, and we still saving the federal government money. It's all about, we just don't believe you deserve what you ought to be getting or what should be paid out based upon what the law itself says. All right, let's go on no further. Potential, you get multiple reviews. Come on, folks, how you gonna get multiple reviews when it says you can't? If once it go back down to
The same people.
that already had it, but on this time when it goes down, the evidence, once they make a decision this time, you through. You can't add no more evidence. You can't add no more new evidence. So how you gonna get multiple review? Is it gonna get, look, really and true, the way this thing reads, and maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe somebody needs to enlighten up. But the way this thing reads here, when you get into the RAMP program, it goes back to the lower level, which is the ROD. The ROD then makes a decision. If the ROD decision is wrong, you cannot dispute his decision. So if you can't dispute the decision, the case is closed. If the case is closed, you can't submit it up to the BVA, which is the Board of Veteran Appeals in Washington, D.C. So it's over with. Cut off. So the same potential effective date for your benefit, regardless of the review option that you choose. You can't change that. No, you ain't giving. How you giving me? You ain't giving me nothing. If I filed a claim September the 1st, 2014, how can you come back and say September 21st, 2018 that I got to file? I can only use the 2018 date. When the initial date of my claim, 2014, September 18, 2014, that is the initial date of my claim. And the only way that initial date of my claim can change, that is if somewhere during the process, and the only time this really can occur is when you get a statement of the case and you fail to send in the Form 9 within the 60 days after you receive, or the date, excuse me, not after you receive, but the date of the statement of the case, which is whatever date is on that statement of the case. You got 60 days from that date to send your Form 9 in saying, I want this to be sent up to the BVA, which ain't nothing but another one of those steps, because they've already sent you prior to the Form 9, they sent you a statement which was called an appeal process. Do you want the traditional appeal or do you want the other appeal?
The DRO.
VRO appeal. So the thing with it, they got all these little loopholes, all these little tangible within the process, and all it is a denial step if you are not up on what you ought to be doing. That's why a lot of veterans, they get tired, they get misunderstood, they get frustrated, downright angry, because they know it's a game that's being played. And then for the poor people who die, and we have several veterans who die, why it come up a year and 2 months later, I want to file a claim because my husband deceased for service-connected disability. Well, did you get the letter, ma'am? No, I didn't get it. But lo and behold, when you call VA, yeah, we sent the letter out on such and such a date, told her she had a right to substitute claim. That's another issue. Why should she lose the right of benefit if her husband had disabilities and diseases related to military service. She was the wife for 45 years, put up with all of that, took care of, but in 1 year you lose your rights, spouse, or the spouse loses her right or his rights based upon a law designed to cheat you and beat you out of the rightful benefits that you deserve for your husband or your wife who served in the military armed forces. Don't make sense, people. Which appeals are eligible for RAMP process? Your appeal must be a disability compensation related claim and pending in one of the following appeal stages at the time of selection. Okay? So these are the ones, in order for you to be able to get into the RAMP program, you got to have, your claim has to be in this either one of these stages. Notice of disagreement has been filed. Okay? All right, so I done filed my notice of disagreement. If you ain't got a notice of disagreement, forget it. You know, notice what it's saying. Because say, oh, we done stop. Notice what it's saying. The notice of disagreement has been filed. You didn't say if I file the claim on let's say October the 16th, 2018. I don't get into this RAMP program. The only way I can do it at that point is I must file what's on the EZ form, 526 EZ, with 215-526 EZ form, which states in the little block just before you get ready to decide, do you want this rapid processing? Okay. If you don't sign that block, it goes into the regular process.
That's right.
Okay. This is not for those. This is not for the initial claim. Now, this is for people who have already been in the system and have reached the stage of a notice of disagreement and have reached the stage where they have received a decision from the Department of Veterans Affairs and have filed a notice of disagreement disagreeing with VA's decision. Okay, that's the first person that can get in. You must have had already filed a Form 9. Oh, okay. Now, what does that mean, people? Let me show you something. What they're saying is, even after you have filed a notice of disagreement and have not filed the Form 9, you can't get in. All right? Because, see, look, let me show you. If you have a Form 9 and you don't send that Form 9 in within 60 days, kaput, you out. Your claim is dead in the water. So that's when we know. You can't say, well, I'm going to wait 92 days, then I'm going to sign the RAMP program. If you do, you won't be able to get into the RAMP program because you failed to submit the Form 9 within the 60-day requirement based upon with 38 CFR. Now you notice that. See, they use 38 CFR when it's convenient for them, for the federal government to use it, or for this program to use it. They use it. They use it. All these things right here, all within the confines of 38 CFR. So they want to be legal or legalistic when you talk about what they can do to deny you the right to get into the RAMP program. But they're not legalistic when they're telling you what they're going to do, what laws they're going to be bound by to make sure that you get a decision within 125 days. And if that decision is incorrect, you have the right then to further appeal. Okay. Certified to board, but not activated. In other words, once you file the notice of disagreement and then sign the Form 9 form, send it in, then that means it's finna go to BVA. Before it get to BVA, you can also file a RAMP or get into the RAMP program. And then once you get into the RAMP program, it won't go to BVA, it'll go back down to the other stages. Then we talked about the other one a while ago. On remand, if you on remand, everything, in other words, if you get a decision from the BVA says, oh, we're going to remand this back to the lower step, that is back down to where the ROD who wrote it in the first place, because they failed procedurally to follow the law under 38 CFR or 35 USC, then they're going to have to, then they must file the remand rebuttal. In this case, if your case is back down to remand, then you can get into the RAM program. But notice what's happening here. These little 4 stages they talk about. All of these 4 stages are the stages which are the legalistic way in how to process your claim from the first step all the way up to Washington, D.C. Okay? So, and if you don't do that, guess what? You lose your case. But if you take the rap side of it, chances are you're gonna lose anyway. Because like I said, once you file that rap program, guess what's gonna happen? Your notice of disagreement is no longer any good. Once you file the rap program, your Form 9 that you filed on time is no longer any good. Once you file the rap for the rap program, the case that had been sent to the BVA will be sent back to the lower steps, to the ROD for adjudication. If you file the RAMP program, any remands that the Board of Veteran Appeal has sent back to the ROD or the lower steps of the VA, the Department of Veteran Affairs, once they send that remand back, VA is not obligated then to give you a re-adjudication because you just signed the RAMP program. So what did the RAMP program do? It cut out all of these stages. It don't mean jack no more. The only thing you're gonna have left here when it goes back down to that lower stage to the RO director, now you back in the hand of the incompetent RO director that sent it up there in the first place.
That's right.
Okay. So you ain't doing but putting what? You put the misery right back on the person. The one who started the misery, he got it right back in his hand, or she got it back in her hand.
That's right. You're on that hamster wheel.
Yeah.
You're on the hamster wheel, just spinning.
Yeah, there you go. You're on the hamster. That's good analogy. You right there on there, you don't cash it back down, you're on the hamster. You're running around, ain't getting nowhere. Compensation related appeal certified to the board and activated through formal placement on the board's docket are executed and will remain pending in the current appeal process. Okay, so let's read that again. Compensation related appeal certified to the board and activated through formal placement of the appeal on the board docket are excluded and remain pending in the current appeal process. So what's the difference? Here is the difference. All right. First of all, it said those that were on remand go back, right? Okay. So that goes back to the lower steps. You can file a RAMP on that. If your claim is already at the BVA office, then what you do then is your claim will be heard by the Board of Veteran Appeals. So la-di-da. So what? Because all the board is going to do, look, most of the time when you get a claim, a decision from the board, there has to be a clear and unmistakable error, or there is a failure by the Department of Veteran Affairs to follow the procedural protocol of the law under 38 CFR, which is either the duty to assist or to give you whatever information they can have to do to get you the adjudicated claim in your favor. Right. Now, for those claims that the board already has, then those are going to be excluded from. You can't sign up for rent. That's what it's saying. Until what? If VA sends it back down to the lower steps on the ramp. Now, here you are back. You filed the ramp. Ain't nothing but a trick in the game. Ain't nothing but a play in no game. That's all it is. Then, so Brother Harris already told you about the supplemental claim lane. All right, these 125 days that they're gonna take now, all of a sudden, your claim been pending for 4 to 5 years. Now all of a sudden they can give you a decision within 125 days to settle your claim that's been. So that lets you know they've been lying or somebody been doing something wrong. They'll set up and hold your claim for 4 years, and all of a sudden, by one stroke of the pen, the president on August the 23rd, 2017, gonna make and mandate that you get a claim adjudicated 125 days, and it's gonna be fairly adjudicated in your favor. Poppycock. Ain't no way. So that's basically the meat of this whole thing. You know, I don't even want to go to how can I opt in, because we're telling you don't opt in. We already told you what the law says. Pay the back page. Look, for all veterans, you read for yourself. Read, what is that page is that? You don't even have a page no more. It just says submitted by VSO. So the back page which says ramp opt-in election. Once you read that opt-in election, you better know what the heck you're doing. And you better know when you go talk to your VSO officer, you better know that he knows what the heck, or she knows what the heck they talking about. Because your VSO officer, if they don't know what they're talking about, they can get you in a world of trouble with this here ramp program stuff. And we've already experienced it here. Okay, you can't change it.
Correct.
You just, I feel sorry for the people who have come in here and have been given misguided information by people who's supposed to be accredited service representative for the Department of Veteran Affairs and don't know what the heck they talking about. And if they do know, I say it's got to be a sorry individual that would mislead a person to not get benefits for the spouse, for the veteran first of all, then for the spouse and for the dependent. It's a bad VSO officer who will sit there and tell a spouse whose husband just died of service-connected disability at 100% to get into this program, and she lose all her benefit rights. That don't make no sense, people. So all I'm telling you, yeah, a visa, we fighting. As our slogan says, to the last disease, to the last claim,
We fight.
and we're gonna fight. To the last benefit. We're gonna fight. We fighting hard. Might not be a long fight. We're gonna be able to fight. Yeah, but we're gonna fight it. Until we can't fight it no more. We get pushed out of the fight. But again, you gotta know how to, I say to all veterans who watching this program, get yourself in tune to what your rights are under the law. Get the 35 CFR Code of Federal Regulations. It's simple. Get on the internet, type it in, it pulls it up. Everything you want to know about your rights under the law is right there on the internet. But like most of us, we don't want to read, we don't want to comprehend, we don't want to study, we don't want to take the time to take care of our own beneficial life. Veterans dying every day. We see them all the time. Why didn't you file a claim? Well, I didn't got time. You crazy. If you've been to the United States military service and got wounded in war, and got one leg, and you talking about you don't want to know benefit because you ain't got time to fool with the procrastination and the stalling and action that the Department of Veteran Affairs does to deny your benefit, you crazy for quitting. Don't let them take away your heart and your guts like that. You need to fight.
That's right.
Until you die. Now, when you die, they can't do nothing. You can't do nothing else. But as long as you got breath in your body, you need to be fighting. Because there is no way that any veteran should sit back, especially with those who still have their family, especially you die with a 100% or with a disease based upon military services, and then when you leave, your children and your spouse can't even get a benefit for the pain and the misery and disease and disabilities you got as a result of military service. It don't make no sense. So as our slogan says up here on this wall, to the last disease, to the last disability, to the last claim, we fight, we fight, we fight. And that's what we're gonna do. If you need to call us, need to talk to us, call us up. We are located here in Forest City, Arkansas. We ain't scared.
500.
Telephone number, 500 South Rock Street is the address, Forest City, Arkansas. Phone number, 1-870-945-3005. Fax number, 1-870-945-3066. Until we see you again, we'll be doing the same thing that we've been doing all the time. We're trying to inform, educate, and liberate. Bring to your conscious awareness that it's your right to receive the benefit for which you gave your service and your time for this continental United States of America. With that, we'll agree.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
To all the veterans, thank you for watching this live broadcast. Every Wednesday, we're going to give it our best shot to come to you live. We don't have a set time as of right now, but do look out for it. I ask you to do 4 things. Number 1, like this video, subscribe to our channel, The Visa Son, share this video, and donate to our program.
Please donate, because we are a non-profit organization. We don't receive any monies from the federal government, and we have relied upon strictly donations. A $25 a month donation would help. So if we got that from 1,000 people, we can maintain our operation without having to scratch our head whether we're gonna keep the doors open or not. So if you got a contribution, as he said, what is the number? Where they send it? AVESI.
Oh, you can go to our website, AVESINC.net, and there's a PayPal link that's directly set up that says donate. You can donate to the Visa, and like I said, all donations will be greatly appreciated.
All right. Anything else you want?
That's it.
Nothing else. My brothers and my sister, fellow veterans, and comrades, at ease.
Right. We out.